All right, so in this video I'm going to be talking about some tips on motivating to get your, and training, how to get your field crews to take better photos of their work. So let me kind of back up a little bit and why I'm creating this. So I encourage my customers on a regular basis to get their crews to take photos of their work and to share them online. You can also obviously print them and use them for portfolios as well. But the online game with social media, with the Instagrams and the Facebooks and all that out there, LinkedIn, you definitely need to be showcasing your work out there. So I'm getting some resistance from my clients, and what they're telling me is that here's the summary that hey, my crews are they're painting contractors. Okay, they're used to painting in the field, or they're building homes. They're not photographers, and so they don't want to do this, or they don't know how to do it. And if they do it, typically the pictures don't turn out very well. And so obviously there are some that get a hold of it and do a good job. But so I thought, I need to put some tips together to help my customers, help you watching this, to improve on this well-needed task of getting photos. They're very important. I don't think it's going away. We'll even talk about videos at the end as a bonus. And I have 6 tips I want to share with you today, and I wrote them down here. If you want this as a PDF, I'd be happy to email it to you at a later time. So let's jump right in. I'll be relatively brief here. I will show a few clips from my iPhone, smartphone, on a couple things here, not just talk, so get a little bit extra out of this one as well. So let's start at the top, tip 1, and that's ongoing training. Many of you who run a construction company should, or already are doing this, have weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly company meetings. So you should be meeting with your staff and talking about production, operations, sales, marketing, and so forth. And so if you have a huddle going on, then maybe that's time for training. Sometimes you have a safety training, right? Ladder thing you got to sign off on, or other types of safety issues. Why not add this? Why not add photography as one of the focuses of your monthly or weekly meetings? And the way I recommend this is to hire a local photographer. Now there is some cost involved, but again, the overall strategy of getting photos is very important. I think you'll win more jobs and build your brand by doing this. So there is a cost and there is a price to pay for this. So look for a local photographer who's willing to share his or her knowledge with your crews. Have that person come in and maybe spend 30 minutes, maybe as much as an hour, depending on what they can do, what it costs, and talk to your crews about shooting better photos using a smartphone. iPhones and Androids are the 2 most popular. How to hold the phone, how to take, how to look at a room or some things you're looking at shooting, and how to take better images. A photographer can show the pros and cons. They can talk about lighting. They can talk about things to avoid, how to get less blurriness and all that. So a huge benefit. If you do nothing else, and just you do tip 1, you'll see a huge increase, I'm sure, in the types of quality of pictures you'll be getting. If you want to save a little money, there might be someone on your team that already knows a fair amount, and you can hire that person to do that for you, or maybe it's someone in the family and all that. Tip 2, take lots of pictures. Most photographers, professional ones, take a lot of photos and only use a very small amount of them, maybe 5 or 10%. So when they go out to do a shoot on location, they might shoot 500 photos and use 50 or 100 of them. Okay, so what I've seen is crews getting discouraged, like, well, they want me to take photos, and they're looking for that best shot. Where can I get that best shot? And then at the end of the job, they realize they only took a couple photos, and maybe most of them are blurry, and so it's hard to use. So if they go, okay, take more photos, and maybe a few of them will turn out, that's what you want to encourage. And again, that's what the professionals do. So take a bunch, and you might find a few keepers in there. Tip 3 is using the timer setting on the iPhone. I'm guessing the Android has the same thing. When you open up the camera app, you'll notice at the top there's an icon there that looks like a little timer, and you tap on it and it'll say 3 seconds or 10 seconds. I recommend the 3-second one. When you tap on that and you focus on the object that you want to snap, When you click the button to take the photo, it's going to give you 3 seconds and then take multiple shots. What this does, the benefit of this, is the shots tend to be less blurry because you're going to get one really good photo without your hand shaking. So I know sometimes when you hold your phone and you take a shot, typically you're moving a little bit. So when you have the timer on there, you're going to get one that's pretty spot on. Then you can go to your photo app and delete the ones you don't want. If you need help figuring that out, I could show you that in another video or some coaching there. So use the timer section. Now, another reason why you want to use that is if you don't use the timer section and you just try to push the button, again, that's where you get really shaky there. Great thing to do. Tip 4, adjust the lighting. So on the iPhone, and I'll show you that in a moment, when you turn on the camera app, you'll notice if you put your finger on your screen and tap different parts of that screen when you're looking at what you want to take a photo of, you'll see a yellow square where your finger is. And what that's doing is letting light in or out depending on where you're tapping on the screen. So if you tap on the lighter part of the screen where the light's pretty strong, it's going to darken the image. And if you tap on, let's say, a dark piece of furniture, it's going to let more light in. Really helpful when you're taking interior photos. If you're taking shots of a kitchen cabinet and you have a window that's coming in, you want to adjust with your fingers, just kind of move it around, tap it a few times until it looks good to you. And I'll just throw this in. I think don't rush this. I know I said take a lot of photos, but the guys do need to, once they get better at it, they'll go, okay, does this look good to me? Just stand back and say, is this picture something that I want people to see online? And if so, take the shot. So adjust the lighting. Once you do it, you'll see better, less blurry, more focused interior shots. You can also adjust it on the outside as well. Tip 5 is having a contest. I would use a monthly contest to motivate your employees, your crews. And you might have a first, second, and third place, and I would most likely encourage you to use cash prizes, not gift cards, although that works too if you want to do that. I started implementing this with clients over the last couple years, and you start to see a little bit more involvement from the crew. So they know they can make an extra $25, $50, $100 a month or whatever it might be by getting photos. So there's different ways you can do it. There's a contest where there is that first, second, third place. There's someone who does the best job, less blurry. We use them on social media. You took the most. They all look pretty clean and easy to view. You win. Second and third might be runners up. But again, you don't want to discourage your crews. You want the photos. You can make it part of your checklist that you got to do it. But you might have some honorable mentions. And so just because someone was out there taking photos and he's just not good enough yet, still say thanks for your effort. Hand him something. And then I'd also say to get all participants, everyone involved. The benefit here is you might have some new employees or apprentices that are pretty tech savvy. The younger generation is more tech savvy, obviously, the millennials. So they might know how to use all the apps that you're talking about, or they're very quick learners. So if you say, here's the phone, here's what you need to do, let them go. I had, my dad's company had a new apprentice that heard about the contest that they were running and said, hey, I want to be involved. I want to do this. And he had some really good photos. I mean, he's a new guy learning the trade of painting, and he jumped right in. And in fact, he's one of the most eager to get this going. And I think one of the benefits of that too is you might find a leader, someone that you want to nurture, and someone who's getting that involved and getting that excited about pictures can be a benefit to your company over the long run. You might want to not lose that person. Tip 6 is to showcase the results, and this is where I'll wrap up here. Is once you've got your images and you got your guys out there taking more of the photos, and you encourage and follow up and manage this, because it does take management. You can't just tell your guys to do that and give them the training and say go do it. You've got to follow up. You've got to inspect what you expect. Inspect what you expect. So do that. And then showcase. Show your crews on one of these meetings how you're using these photos and videos. Say, hey guys, I want to take a quick snapshot on Instagram and Facebook today and show you the photos you're doing, and here's how they're looking out there. Here's some comments we've gotten on them, and so forth. All right, so that would encourage them. and I'm going to wrap up with a bonus tip on shooting video. All right, so many of you watch TV, movies, and videos and whatnot, and TV shows, and one thing that you'll notice, at least I do, is you never see the cameraman, the camera crew, focusing on a scene more than a few seconds. So if there's two people talking in a car back and forth, the camera is switching between the two, obviously, right? So the human mind we're used to that movement. Old shows back in the 50s and 60s, sometimes they would focus longer on a spot for 5, 7, maybe 10 seconds, and that got kind of long. Now it's just a few seconds. So the reason I bring that up is when you're shooting video, maybe doing a project vlog. Vlog is called, it's like a blog, but it's for video, or a case study on one of the projects you're doing. Really what you want to be focusing on is the stages of the job, and doing very short snippets, clips, 5 to 7 seconds of each stage of that job, and then the editor of that video can splice it all together. So you want to get your sanding, your priming, your framing, pressure washing, whatever field you're in, brushing, spraying, the drywall, all that. You want to put all that in a timeline, and you want to just take these 5 to 7 second clips. So if one of your crews is sanding some railing, you want to just kind of get down close to him and just take a little 5 to 7, I can't say that very fast, 7-second clip of what he or she's doing, and maybe get another angle, the pressure washing, and all the other stages. Once you put all that together, you'll have a timeline, and you'll have a whole project, from start to finish, that you can maybe take the sound out and put some music to it and showcase a job. The one thing I have seen a lot of guys do when they're shooting video, when they don't know this part, is they think that they just have to take a whole couple minute shot of their job, and they've done their job. Okay, here's the guy pressure washing, let me stand back and show the guy pressure washing for 2 minutes. That's kind of boring. Or scraping some rails, or just rolling it on. Now you want to show the before, during, and after. And so you don't need to talk, you don't need to explain all the details, just shoot those 5 to 7 second clips. All right, so thanks for watching. If you guys have any questions, you can email me, david@adavidcreation.com. Now, hopefully this will help you to get your crews shooting more photos and videos out there and build your brand. And again, thanks for watching.